Did you know that Square Enix has made some significant changes to Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake that altered the vision of Akira Toriyama's original designs? The most recent changes has sparked some outrage among fans and has upset some of the Japanese. In this video, we're going to go over the controversial decisions made by Square Enix regarding Dragon Quest III and the modernization of Akira Toriyama's work. My name is Shane Games. I talk about stuff that people get mad about. If you're new to the channel, leave a like and subscribe. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back and get ready to be disappointed. Dragon Quest III, a game released in 1988 on the Famicom inside of Japan and later on the NES for America in 1992. It would later see an update or its first remake of the game on the Super Famicom in 1996, and it wouldn't be until the Game Boy Color in 2001 before America gets its first remake of the game. Now, there's also some other versions of the game that was released on like mobile phones and digital downloads or like the eShop, but the version we're focusing on today is Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. This version is the biggest update to graphics, adopting the new Octopath style of graphics, which is a mix of 2D and 3D to create a beautiful artistic direction for sprite-based games, which, to their credit, I have to say, it does look absolutely beautiful. And I love that sprite-based games are being developed in this style, but not at the cost of artistic integrity. New articles are popping up about some of the most recent changes, and before we can dive into that, let's quickly recap on what we know so far. Now, one of the first signs of censorship was the change they decided to make about the main heroes of the game. You can't be male and you can't be female any longer. You can only be body type A and body type B. Now, this change is always stupid to me. I don't really understand the logic behind this change. I don't get where we're trying to get at when we make these changes, because why is it offensive to be male or female? Why can't we identify as that? There's plenty of people, in fact, the majority of people identify as either male or female. Yet now we're body type A and body type B. How long is it going to take before somebody gets offended over not being A or not being B, or the fact that A comes before B? Who knows? Pretty soon it'd probably just be like a slider. And you just slide and your body type changes as you slide and there's no number. But then again, someone will get offended that their body type version isn't first or maybe they're last. I don't know. When does it stop? But we'll continue with some of the changes that Square Enix is making. This is a troll. Similar to the slime, it's a staple of the Dragon Quest. Depending on your age, depends on whether or not you call it Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest. I'm a little bit older, so for me, it's always going to be Dragon Warrior. It doesn't matter what you call it, right? As long as you're a fan. Now, looking at these two images, can you spot the difference? You're probably wondering, what is the difference? Don't worry about it. It's a small change, but it's an impactful one. It's the lips. Yes, the lips are offensive now. I mean, I don't know what this change is even about. I've never once thought that lips on a troll was offensive. Yet again, changing Akira Toriyama's original design just because you want to modernize it. You want to make a change that literally nobody was even thinking about. But now that you pointed out, I guess we have to take it and look at it and have a discussion about the fact that he has big lips and how that relates to a different culture. Makes absolutely no sense. Again, making changes, changing the artistic integrity, changing someone's vision to fit a better narrative, I'm sure always has a fantastic outcome that gamers will always love. Now, recently, Square Enix released some updated images on the character designs for the game. In their most recent update, we can see that this right here is the bunny girl that they're going with. And who doesn't love a good bunny girl, right? I love bunny girls. But looking at this bunny girl, you're probably wondering, what's wrong with this picture? Well, if you take a look at her outfit, you can see that they kind of pulled it down. This is like not even like a swimsuit type outfit. I don't even know what this is. It's like they were trying to give her shorts, but they wanted to connect it to the suit. And now it just looks stupid. And this image is even being highlighted in this Japanese post. And it reads as follows: Dragon Quest III HD 2D political correctness measures. The female warriors are wearing bikini armor, which we'll get into in a second. ugly fleshed out colored plants. Womanizers don't wear high leg swimsuits. And so basically what he's getting at with this picture is that he's upset that it just looks weird, right? Like it doesn't look cute. It's not attractive. We can look at the original designs behind, Akira Toriyama's original outlook, at least what he thought a bunny girl should look like. This is more in line with what we are expecting out of a bunny girl outfit. There's nothing wrong with looking like this. I mean, this is the look. If you are getting in a bunny outfit or a bunny girl outfit, this is what we expect. I guess they covered the hips, they covered the thighs. They didn't want you looking at that, even though they're wearing pantyhose. Apparently, now you can't even do that. So we got to make sure that we drag down that outfit just so that it, matches a modern day audience. I'm sure everybody's going to love that. Yet again, changing Akira Toriyama's original design to fit your narrative. There's nothing wrong with changing artistic direction according to Square Enix. But as you can imagine, it doesn't stop there. One of the biggest changes, which is what's getting the most backlash right now, that's getting the most attention, is what they did to the female warrior. Now, this is the original design of the female warrior. Nothing wrong with this design. It looks really cool, right? We like it. This is what we grew up with. This is Akira Toriyama's original design. But Square Enix has improved it. They made it better. And they made it better by modernizing it for the new era of gamers. So we'll simply look at what the updated design looks like. And here it is. Ah, yes. So much better, isn't it? We got to cover her up because showing any skin is just offensive. So they simply just put shorts and it looks like a shirt under her armor. And this doesn't even look right. It just doesn't make any sense, right? This is what happens when you change somebody's work. You see, the character was originally designed to look this way. She was showing off her muscle and her physique, which is why she was wearing the bikini armor to begin with. But now you want to add some clothes to her and it just doesn't even match. They even tried to get it to match. In fact, if you look at it, the colors look weird. It like almost blends in, but it doesn't blend in. Like, why? What's the point of this? All this is going to do is enrage gamers. And would you believe me? It enraged gamers. Yet again, taking somebody who was very influential to the entire anime world, comic world, manga world, game world, and changing his designs because you think it works better. Now, this isn't the first time they changed the female warrior. In fact, they've changed it a couple of times. She was changed in Dragon Quest Stars, and she was also changed in the Dragon Quest TCG, which is a card game, which I didn't even know there was a card game until I was doing this research. And then finally, one of the changes they made, which we get to see the character in a 3D model with the updated changes, which was Dragon Quest Treasures, which is the most recent game. Just looking at this model here, which is the 3D model of this female warrior with the updated changes, it just looks so stupid. Like, what is she wearing here? What is the point of the bikini armor if you're just going to wear stuff underneath it? You just wear a normal suit of armor then, because that would require character development or at least character design, which they don't have any character design. This is the reason why they did this. They did this because they thought it would be okay. Of course it's not okay. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense because you didn't design the character. Somebody with actual talent made the character, which is why we prefer that version significantly more. Now, these changes are sad, and I really wish that they didn't happen, and I wish Square would just leave it alone, or at least give us the option to have classic and modern. You know what? I think one of the reasons why they don't do that is because the numbers that you would get from that, the stats at least you would get from that, would make them cry because they would see probably more people choosing the classic over the reimagining of these characters that people have grown up and loved. Now, my personal opinion is that this is so disrespectful to Akira Toriyama and everything he's worked so hard to do. Changing his designs, especially after his passing, is so low and sad. It's just enraging gamers. Akira Toriyama is like the Tolkien of the anime world. Changing his work to fit a modern day narrative is just flat out disastrous. Leave his designs alone. He is a master at character design, and changing what he created just makes lots of people and myself mad and disgusted and annoyed that you need to put your hands into his work, his manga, his anime and the games that he worked on were so popular long before these DEI groups were even a thought. His art are worldwide phenomenons, creating entire movements and changing the culture around the world, as people will never forget the stories that he created like Dragon Ball for decades to come. If you really want to honor his work, if you really want to pay tribute to him, simply stay true to what he envisioned when he created it back in 1988. Stay true to what he believed in, what he thought that we should see. You know, this really sucks too, because Zelda is one of my most absolute favorite things on the planet and is in my top 3 for best games of all time. And Dragon Quest, or Dragon Warrior, is what turned me on to the medieval RPG genre. I remember when I was a child playing Dragon Quest for one of the first times, and it was nighttime. And I remember seeing the skeleton warriors appear on my screen for the very first time, and I got so scared, but I kept playing. And then when I finally seen the warlock for the first time, it freaked me out so much that I walked out into the hall and turned the hall light on. It's those type of moments that it sticks with you as a child, and then you love that type of atmosphere that Akira Toriyama helped create. These characters are created to elicit an emotional response as the player, and you draw a connection with that. Not just with the designs of the heroes, but also the enemies. A memory like that is going to stay with me basically to the end of time for me. But hey, it's bad now to have sexy looking women or women reveal any part of their body just because you're a male with male gaze and you're a stupid misogynist. But it's totally okay to have a chiseled, well-toned man have relationships and hook up with a bear on screen. This is totally okay and acceptable. What happened to games where everyone just looked awesome or looked cool and nobody cared about that? Everyone just had fun. We just wanted to have fun with cool, great-looking characters, whether they be bad or good. It didn't matter. I'll leave it there. What do you guys think about the most recent changes? Are you going to buy Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake or just play the original on the original hardware? What's your favorite Akira Toriyama moment or creation? Mine is finding out my love for bunny girls when Bulma first put on those red strapped heels and that nice fluffy cottontail. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a beautiful night. Stay awesome. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
You know, there's something not quite right about you, Oolong, but I just can't quite figure it out.
I'm a pig?